Welcome back to bmaster79. In this lesson we take on an ielts academic writing task 1 map question and we build it all the way up to a band 9 answer. Two maps of the same village, 100 years apart. We will read the maps together, brainstorm, plan, and then write the full answer. Here is the task. The maps below show part of a village in 1910 and the same part of that village in 2010. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words in about 20 minutes. Notice the two dates. That single detail decides your grammar for the whole answer. I have redrawn both maps so we can read them clearly. On the left, Shalton village in 1910. On the right, the same area in 2010. Take a moment to look at the shape of the roads. School Road runs down the left, London Road cuts diagonally across, and High Street runs along the bottom. Together they enclose a triangle in the middle, and that triangle is where most of the change happens. Please note that the small orange blocks are house symbols, so any count I give is approximate. Before writing, let us read the maps properly. 4 habits separate a band 9 answer from a band 6 answer here. 2 dates means change over time, so you need the past simple passive and the past perfect. Do not list every building. Instead, sort what you see into 3 piles. What appeared, what disappeared, and what stayed exactly the same. Anchor every change to a road or a landmark so the reader can find it. And count the repeated house symbol, because a rough count gives you a comparison you can put in a sentence. Now the brainstorm. On the left, everything that changed. All 3 small shops disappeared. The butcher, the grocer and the baker. A supermarket, a parking area and a bank appeared on School Road. A cafe took over the site of the grocer. The large house and its trees were cleared away, and the number of houses grew from roughly 4 to about 14. On the right, everything that stayed, the school, the post office, all 3 roads, and the whole triangular street layout. This 2-column split is your essay skeleton. The overview is the single most important sentence group in task 1, and it is where most candidates lose marks. Write 1 sentence on the direction of change. Rural and commercial becomes residential and modern. Then 1 sentence on what resisted change, the roads and the 2 public buildings. And here is the rule that students break constantly. No figures in the overview. Save every single number for the body paragraphs. Here is the 4-paragraph plan. Paragraph 1 paraphrases the prompt in 1 sentence with no opinion and no data. Paragraph 2 is the figure-free overview with the 2 big trends. Paragraph 3 handles housing and land use, moving through the triangle, then London Road, then High Street. Paragraph 4 handles the amenities, the shops that went out, the supermarket and bank that came in, and everything that survived. 4 paragraphs, roughly 200 words. Paragraph 1. The 2 maps illustrate the changes that took place in 1 section of Shalton village over the course of a century, between 1910 and 2010. Notice what I did there. Show became illustrate. Part of a village became 1 section of Shalton village. And the 2 dates became over the course of a century. That is paraphrasing at the level of meaning, not just swapping single words. Paragraph 2. The overview. Overall, the area was transformed from a sparsely built rural settlement into a considerably denser residential district, with housing replacing both open land and the family-run shops of the earlier period. The road network and the two public buildings, by contrast, were left entirely untouched. 2 sentences, one for change, one for continuity, and not a single number in either of them. Paragraph 3. Housing and land use. The most striking development concerns the triangular plot bounded by School Road, London Road and High Street. In 1910 this contained a single large house standing among trees together with a grocer and a baker. By 2010 the house and the trees had been cleared and the plot had been filled with rows of small dwellings. Further housing had been built along the north-eastern side of London Road, while the number of homes south of High Street had doubled. Listen to the tenses. Past simple for 1910, past perfect for 2010, because 2010 is being described relative to the earlier map. Paragraph 4. The amenities. The village's independent traders had disappeared entirely. The butcher on School Road gave way to a supermarket with its own parking area, a bank was erected beside it, and a cafe came to occupy the site of the former grocer. The school and the post office, however, remained exactly where they had been, and all 3 roads followed precisely the same course as they had 100 years earlier. Notice that I finished on what did not change. It closes the answer and it guarantees the examiner sees the continuity point. Here is the complete answer on one slide, 218 words. Pause the video and read it as a whole. Watch how paragraph 3 moves through space in a logical order, from the triangle outwards to London Road and then to High Street, rather than jumping randomly around the map. That spatial logic is what earns the coherence and cohesion mark. Now the language bank. Map tasks reward one specific skill, saying replaced in many different ways. For replacement, use gave way to, was replaced by, came to occupy the site of, or had been converted into. For removal, was cleared, was demolished, had disappeared. For appearance, was erected, had been built, sprang up. For no change, remained untouched, was left in place, followed the same course. And for location, bounded by, to the south of, along the north-eastern side of, at the foot of. Learn these and you will never repeat yourself in a map answer. Let us check this answer against the 4 marking criteria. Task achievement. A clear figure-free overview, every drawn change reported and located, and all approximate counts hedged. Coherence and cohesion, grouped by land use rather than listed building by building. Lexical resource, precise change vocabulary with no repetition. Grammatical range, past simple passive plus past perfect with varied clause length. One important note. Band 9 here reflects an internal quality check against the public ielts band descriptors. It is not a score awarded by a certified examiner. That is the full walkthrough. To summarize, sort the map into appeared, disappeared, and stayed the same. Write a figure-free overview. Anchor every change to a road or a landmark, and vary the way you say replaced. Now here is your challenge. Rewrite paragraph 4 without using the word replaced, and post your version in the comments. If this helped, subscribe to BMaster79 for more Band 9 walkthroughs. See you in the next lesson.